Hi, Jerry and Mercedes. This is Pablo Ajon with Osmany Garcia with 72 sold. So I wanted to go over some of the pricing that we calculated for your house. So on your house, as we're going to review it, it says it's actually living square feet is 3962, and your total um, building, including all the garages and the patios, is 5969. Okay. So based on that, what I did here is I went to the comparables on the MLS. So the only criteria that I placed was basically a million plus your property address right here in the middle, and within a year, sold, single families, and that's over 3,000 square feet. And then these are the results. So based on these results, I'm gonna go from lowest to highest. So we have them from 1,025,000 to 1.725. So we're basically between 1,025,000 to 1.725. This 1,025,000 is probably the one that looks the most like your house. It's got 4 bedrooms, 4 bath, 3,994 square feet. It's 1959 built, and it's a lot size of 30,013. You have a 49,000 square foot lot, so we're gonna adjust. So we're gonna take this as one of the best comparables to use for your property, and we can compare it to the 1.7, which is a bigger house, 5,630 square feet, and a 34,000 square foot lot. So what I did is basically break down the numbers there. So what I'm gonna do is basically say the highest comparable that sold was the one that was 5,630 square feet. Then I'm highlighting here. So that sold for 1.725. It was actually listed for 1.825 and it sold for 1.725. If we just do on a bare, it's average. It says it was basically at 306,000 square foot. What I did to kind of break it down was to say and see how much a lot size we're going for, the lots in the area, and they're going for 1,250 a square foot. So what I did is just divide the price 1,250 times the 34,151, come up with 426,887. I subtracted that from the sales price, and it gave me a 1.298, 11250. That basically breaks down to 230 a square foot. When I multiply the living or divide the 1298 by the 5630, I get 230 a square foot. So I did that for, this would be the highest property, basically giving us a 230 a square foot. I did this for the middle property, which was actually the one that sold for 1,025,000, the one that's most similar to your house. And this basically breaks down to 162,000 square foot. And then another comparable that it's a very nice house that sold for 1.2, as you can see here. This one's actually listed at 1.590, sold for 1.2. It had a 39,000 square foot lot. It was 13 square feet under air living. So this one broke down. When we break it down, it breaks down to 143,000 square feet. So that's what they broke down to, basically, the ones that I'm highlighting right now, the prices. So when we do that, and I did that for your house, so I did a high, a middle, and a low. So on the high price, I did it based on $200 a square foot for your house. This particular property that was 230, which was the 1.7 house, is a 2-story house. Usually they're not going to try to compare your house with a 2-story house because you're a single story. So they're going to try to stay with the ones that are 1-story. So there was another one that sold for 206, similar. So I put this one just to put a number. I think at $200 a square foot for the house, and then $1,250 for the lot size. So I just multiply your $1,250 times your 4,922 square foot size. So your lot size should be worth $615, and your size house times $200 a square foot is $772,590. So on the higher price side, your house should be worth 1.3875, 1.387865. I did the same thing with a middle number. Let's say they appraisal comes in like a 175 square foot for your house, that is a 693, so you'll be at a 1.3. And then on the low side, I basically took 162, which was the house that sold for 1.2. The one that sold for $1,025,000, the middle one. And I just did the 39 times the 162, gave me 641. So that comes out to a 1.257. So your house, depending on the appraisal, at the end of the day, it's gonna come in somewhere in between this row, somewhere between the 1.257 and the 1.387865. Now, most people are usually asking for big discounts for the most part. If we see up here, we see that this one dropped 100,000, this one dropped 70,000, and this one dropped basically $400,000 almost. So that's a lot of money to be dropping off the price. So realistically, your house is going to be worth somewhere in this middle. Now, as far as pricing it out, I would probably say I wouldn't go any higher than, considering that they might ask you for a discount, I wouldn't go any higher than 1.450 if you're trying to sell it for the 1.387. But if not, 1.4 would be more of a magic number that would look more feasible to sell the house at, you know. So I think somewhere between the 1.4 and 1.450 is the max that you can list it, and your values is probably somewhere in this range.